ஸோ நம்ம வந்து க்ரூஷியல் மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் பேரண்ட்ஸ் மேக்கை பற்றி ஒரு வீடியோ போட்டிருந்தோம் நான் அம்மாவும். ஸ்ட்ரென்த் பியூட்டி 8033 அப்படின்றவங்க வந்து கொஷின்ஸ் கேட்டிருந்தாங்க. அதில் வந்து தே சஜஸ்டட் தட் ஐ நீட் டு மேக் மை பாய்ஸ் சிட் in their 20s and ask about the parenting mistakes that we made as parents. ஸோ விவின் கிட்ட வந்து நான் ஆல்ரெடி கேட்டேன், இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வீடியோ வந்திருக்கு பார்த்துட்டு இந்த கமெண்ட் படிக்கணுன்னு கேட்டோன்னே அவன் படிச்சுட்டு சொன்னான், நீ என்ன நினைக்கிற ஆஸ் அ பேரண்ட், நான் என்ன மிஸ்டேக் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் இல்லை அப்பா என்ன மிஸ்டேக் பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னு கேட்டேன். ஸோ அதுக்கு அவன் சொன்னான், why did you not force me to eat vegetables அப்படின்னு கேட்டான். நான் சொன்னேன், we tried to force you and then you just refused. Even now when we buy noodles from Panda Express, you put the cabbage on the side. நீ வந்து அதை எடுத்து சாப்பிட மாட்ட. அதனால ஒரு பாயிண்ட்க்கு அப்புறம் எங்களுக்கு வந்து நீ சாப்பிட்றது தான் முக்கியமாயிடுச்சு, ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணலை. மற்றபடி வேற ஏதாவது பேரண்டிங் மிஸ்டேக் இருக்கான்னு கேட்டதுக்கு இல்லை, ஐ திங்க் யூ ஆர் அ ஓகே பேரண்ட், சில் பேரண்ட். எங்கெங்கே ஸ்ட்ரிக்டாக இருக்கணுமோ அங்கெல்லாம் நீங்கள் ஸ்ட்ரிக்டாக இருக்கீங்க, எங்கெங்கே ஃப்ரீயாக இருக்கணுமோ அதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் ஃப்ரீயாக இருக்கீங்க. யூஆர் நாட் லைக் டூ ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் ஆர் எனி திங், யூஆர் கிவிங் அஸ் த ஃப்ரீடம் தான் அவன் சொன்னான். பட் ஹீஸ் அ யங் பாய். ஓகே, இந்த வீடியோவில் நான் என்ன சொல்லியிருந்தேன்னா தவின், என்ன சொல்லியிருந்தேன் ஞாபகம் இருக்கா வேணும்?
அது என்ன டாபிக் வீடியோ? அது
crucial mistake as parents you are making right now. நானும் அம்மாவும் நம்ம
இல்ல ஃப்ரீடம்,
we have to let them go so that they'll come back to us.
அதான் ஆமா. ஏன்னா நமக்கு எனக்கு என்ன எங்க அப்பா கொடுத்த ஃப்ரீடம்ன்ற பத்தி பேசணும். உனக்கு என்ன ஃப்ரீடம்? எல்லா ஃப்ரீடமும் இருந்தது. நம்மளோட ஃபேமிலி பேரண்டிங் ஸ்டைலை பத்தி சொன்னோம். நம்ம கொஞ்சம் கம்பேர்ட் டு த ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் பேரண்டோட இங்க கொஞ்சம் சில் வைப் இருக்கும்ன்ற மாதிரி நான் சொல்லியிருந்தேன். I claimed that I'm a very good parent. So that somebody said you're like boasting and saying you're a good parent. Adukku I want to give you an answer. I said that I'm a very good parent because I am the answer to my mom's parenting. அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி நான் சொன்னேன். எங்கள் அம்மாவோட பேரண்டிங்லேருந்து வந்து நான் இன்னைக்கு இருந்து என்னோட நெக்ஸ்ட் ஜெனரேஷனை நான் பார்க்குறேன். ஸோ இன் தட் வே மை மாம் டோல் மீ திஸ், நீ நல்லா வளர்த்துட்ட. ஸோ she is the one who gave me that certificate saying that I'm a good parent, and I will definitely own that statement. I want to say that I am a very good parent because I had the courage to meet my kids in the middle. அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஸ்பேஸ் கொடுத்தேன், அவங்கள்ட்ட நான் கொடுத்தேன்றது என்னுடைய தனிப்பட்ட கருத்து. ஸோ நான் தவின் இங்கே இருக்கான். தவின் கிட்ட வந்து எங்களோட பேரண்டிங் பற்றி என்ன நினைக்கிறான்னு கேட்கலாம். 20sலையும் திருப்பி கேட்கலாம், இன்னொரு 1.5 வருஷத்துல கேட்போம். சொல்லு தவின்.
I'd say that the main thing is just like it eased up recently, like more recently, but like I feel like when I was younger, like it was not that strict, but like a little strict in that like the main focus was like school, because like this is the most important year, and then next year it's the most important year, and then the year after that it's the most important year, and every year is important. But I think now that like I'm an adult, like I found like the balance, but that could be done like earlier as well.
You feel it because we are not doing the same to Vivian, then you feel that
no,
I felt that way.
It's just like because like now that like I'm in college and like even like senior year and junior year, like I found like the balance myself, but like doing that like a little bit earlier of like allowing the kid to find like a balance between like working and. But
it's a kid, right? I don't think kids will be.
I mean, like not that young, but like.
Now, if I give an option to Vivian, you want to play 10 hours or you want to study 10 hours? Which one he will pick?
I mean, like obviously not letting him run free,
so
but like.
We are also learning from the mistakes, right?
Yeah.
What we thought. I mean, all the parents they'll say, okay, now what education. But like I also like we try to push you to some level. Because we know that you can.
Yeah.
We cannot do that to Vivian because we know he will not. Mm-hmm. So what we are trying to say is like, if we did some mistakes, we are learning from that, and then we are trying to not to do that to other kids or to second one Vivian.
Yeah.
But like you are a good kid, Tavin. So you are like able to get achieve it.
Make him understand what I try to tell is, you have seen Amma. Mm-hmm. You have seen how she is with me and with everyone. Mm-hmm. There is no.
Yeah.
It's always yes.
Yeah.
I'm coming from that generation. To cut to the chase today, we win.
Yeah.
Always a no for everything. The other no.
Yeah.
He never does anything.
Yeah.
Imagine me as a parent, how confused my brain is. I'm coming from always perfection to always imperfection. So I'm confused in between. But நீ வந்து you were a குழந்தையா இருக்கும் போது he was a very aggressive kid. The whole world used to tell like how are you managing this boy at home. Then Vivin வந்தப்புறம் he just turned into
Apparently yesterday we were talking, me and Amma and Vivin cannot believe that you are aggressive kid. He's like, really? He's aggressive? Show me some video. I couldn't see it. I don't believe it.
I'm not about aggressive, but attention seeking, yeah.
No, aggressive Tavin.
Yeah, you are aggressive.
You know Vivin beats Appa and plays?
Yeah.
You were like that 100
I can see
times.
like me being like hyper and like...
Yeah, hyper. You're hyper. Yeah, you're hyper.
So
you're always
also you
running.
were like full of energy and you're always like doing things and you know that kind of an aggressive kid, like you know. But then my point is like, you know, we are going off topic. இல்ல நான் சொல்றது என்னன்னா we were talking about giving freedom, allowing you guys to do whatever you told, right?
Yeah.
I said allow them, let them go, give them freedom, and then they'll come back to you.
Yeah.
And they'll start sharing. People are not agreeing with that. They're saying it may have worked with you, but it may not work with everyone. That's what they are trying to say. Sometimes அந்த ஹோல் ஃபுல் டைம் ஒர்க் பண்ற ரெண்டு பேரண்ட் இருக்கிற இடத்துல இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இடம் நடக்கலாம், நடக்காம இருக்கலாம். They don't know. இது வந்து ஒரு எவ்ரி கேஸ் இஸ் யூனிக். அகெயின் இட்ஸ் எவ்ரி கேஸ் இஸ் யூனிக். தவின் வந்து மே டிஸ்அக்ரி தட் ஐம் அ பெஸ்ட் பேரண்ட் ஆர் மே அக்ரி தட் ஐம் அ பெஸ்ட் பேரண்ட். பட் அவனோட பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, இப்போ அவனை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஸ்டடீஸ்ல நம்ம ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருந்திருக்கோம். அது ஒண்ணுதான் அவன் சொல்றான். ஸ்டடீஸ் தவிர
அவனுக்கு என்ன கன்சர்ன் நான் நினைக்கிறது அவன் பாயிண்ட்ல என்னன்னா, நீ மிடில் ஸ்கூல்ல நல்லா பண்ணாதான் ஹை ஸ்கூல் வரும் அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு இருப்போம். அப்புறம் ஹை ஸ்கூல் வந்து ஹை ஸ்கூல்ல நீ பண்ணாதான் நல்ல காலேஜ் கிடைக்கும்னு, அப்புறம் காலேஜ் வந்து நீ நல்லா படிச்சாதான் நல்ல வேலை கிடைக்கும்னு. ஸோ அவனுக்கு லாஸ்டா அவன் கேட்ட கேள்வி என்ன அதே கேள்விதான் கேட்டான். You keep saying that every time as you go.
What I was getting at is like you say like, oh, like you need to like cut back on that because this year it's gonna be important.
Yeah, 9th, 10th.
Yeah,
right.
But like if I don't find that balance myself, then when they go to college or whatever, who's there to say like, oh, you need to cut back, right?
Yeah, but almost like by
like look at V, right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You don't tell him, right?
Adha solranda.
But now like he figures out his balance and he's getting like
he's a little bit mature than you because
but
you are
he's
only
1 year older, right?
True, but
and that age you already had that freedom in 10th grade.
Yeah, 11th grade.
We are following the exact same pattern.
So for Tavin, right? 11th grade, he plays game every single day until
no, but I'm not saying
no. What I'm saying is,
I'm just saying like in general.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are learning, right? So we are learning, and also he's mature a little bit. You are younger to him.
Yeah.
When you study 9th grade, you are younger level. He is in 9th grade, I in the elder level, the older side, right? So there's a difference. So 11th, 12th, you literally played, right? Every single day you play. We didn't ask you. We say Tavin sleep by 11 o'clock. That's the only thing we keep saying. Same thing Vivin, we tell.
We say Vivin, sleep by 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
same thing.
But 1 year early he started. You started 10th, he started 9th itself.
But the same age.
That's the only difference. Yeah, the age wise it's same.
Age wise same. So we are actually following in our brain, right? We have a same protocol with him. Like when he's 16, we'll get him his driver's license. We'll get him a job. We'll have him do things.
Also, they say the generation gene, right? Generation gene, as the human evolve, because when you started, நீ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்போது what you watch the backyardigans, all the kids level programs, and you are growing, right? Caillou, everything you're watching. But when Vivin came, we started with the Transformer. He didn't watch all the Caillou and all because it's the generation gap. That's generation gap, and then the generation evolvement.
I also mentioned that in many of my videos. I've mentioned that yelling வந்து நீ சொல்லுவல்ல, if you start saying and yelling, it will go over your head.
Adala we learned from you.
We learned from you. That's what we told.
Yeah.
People are saying yelling is part of parenting.
It depends on if you make it part of your parenting, in my opinion, because I feel that some people, not in like a rude way, but like if you're unable to like communicate it in a well-mannered way, not in like that they're poor-mannered, but like sometimes yelling isn't going to do anything. It just kind of escalates it.
It creates tension.
Yeah. because like we could talk about V and Bobby, like even if they're just fighting over nothing, like I just get annoyed because it's just like, why are you shouting?
Because he doesn't know what is playing and what is
Exactly,
serious. Because he'll be like fighting with me.
But like if you look at like Ma, like she won't like raise her voice really. She just like, it's always just the
Yeah.
But she doesn't play with Vivin like I do,
Exactly.
right? Aggressively. So-
exactly.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I told.
Yeah.
That's my
That's what I'm saying.
that's-
It depends on if you make it part of your parenting, right?
yeah, that's what I
It's your parenting with V, right? You play with him and you yell at him, but it's not like, but like compared to Ma, like she doesn't really yell at him, right?
That's her style.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
that's what I shared, and I said that is successful to me. It works for me, and I feel like Tavin and Vivin, they come back to us and share everything like an adult. We treated them like an adult, so they're coming back and giving us the same adult respect and adult time with us, is what I told. But then, like I said, like parenting la vera enna do you, what other things do you think as parents should people do or change? Or we are coming from India, we have different set of rules and different set of
Yeah.
expectations, right? இங்க இருக்கிற பீப்புளுக்கு என்ன மாறணும், என்ன நீ நினைக்கிற? What is your thought process or anything?
One thing that I do see like a lot of parents do is like if the kid gets like in trouble, like say like I don't know, like anything, right? They get in trouble. Then like if you find out, or like they find out like the first time, you shouldn't like yell at them or confront them over it, because or like confront them in like a like scold them, because if they do that, then they kind of associate the parent with the punishment, and they're like, oh, if I tell my parent, I'm gonna get punished, and then that creates the reluctance between the kid and the parent to like, if I messed up, like I should tell my parents and like have them like work it out with me, like how do I fix it? They're like, oh no, I can't tell them because I'm scared I'm gonna get punished. So I feel like a lot of parents like
That's one other point we shared.
Yeah.
That the kids should not feel that like if I tell to my
But
parent,
that starts on both sides, because the kid won't feel like they're ready to share if the parent is going and making them not feel safe about it.
correct.
அது ஒன்று சொன்னாங்க. அடுத்தது ஸ்லீப் ஓவர் பத்தி உன்னுடைய தாட் ப்ராசஸ் என்ன?
Do you regret that we didn't allow you to go to sleepover?
I mean, a little bit, but like I'm not that pressed over it. Like I'm not that like it's not that bad. I don't really care.
But I know the exact feeling, Tavin.
Wow.
Because like in those days in my area, we call the movie projection. Some festival time they'll project a movie at night. Okay, after 9 o'clock only they'll start projecting. So I'll ask my father, I want to go to watch movie, because it's down, just like it's like the street.
Yeah.
I just get down from my house and then walk maybe 1 minute and I'll be there. But my father say no. Until 10 o'clock you can be there, but 10 o'clock you should come home. So I feel like frustrated why they are not allowing whole street is watching, everyone is there. நான் நினைப்பேன் ஏன் என்ன மட்டும் விட மாட்டாங்க ஐயோ அப்படின்னு. But end of the day I'll come home and I'll think it's okay, இந்த படம் எங்க போகுது, we'll watch. It's not a brand new movie they're projecting first time. It's already released movie, but like I'm saying I felt like நான் அதை மிஸ் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னு. ஆனா in my mind it's okay, it's nothing. Then I will go and sleep, that's all. But I feel that thing when we want to go and then do something and then parents say don't do it, means, but we have our own reasons for that too. Just like my father.
No, but like I said, இதெல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு யூனிக் கேஸ்,
House
ஒரு
rules.
விஷயம். But then I'm glad that he just repeated. நாங்க இத அவன் அந்த வீடியோ பார்க்கல, எதுவுமே சொல்ல, நாங்க பேசின அதே பாயிண்ட்ஸ் தான் அவன் சொன்னான். Which I'm surprised actually, which means like I did something right, and I still claim that I'm one successful parent of an adult child. Child will always be my child.
Any other points with the other, not just us, general parenting or Indian parents in particular circle, Indian parent circle, what else you think you think that like they should change, or they should adapt in a different way, or they should approach in a different way?
I think one thing, and this isn't just Indian, this is just in general, but
In parenting, any parent.
is like I see a lot of people that like they focus on just academics, right? and then they're like, oh, you shouldn't go out and like go play, like, I don't know, like do something because they want them to focus on it. But it's like those activities that like allow people to create like interests and hobbies and all that. Like I went to like the chess club in elementary and I did like all that. And so I have like an interest in like, you know, whatever. But like if there's a parent where like, oh, you're not allowed to, or like just manufacturing activities just for the sake of like a resume, then that doesn't create like genuine like fun for the kid. Like the kid, it's a kid, right? They're supposed to do things that they want to do. Like if you're, and so especially like in the long term, right? If they have like healthy activities that they can do, then that prevents them from going down to like unhealthy activities like partying or not partying like in a negative way, but you know what I mean? Like,
but you're talking about a college kid. I'm talking about a kid.
No, I'm saying like
in general,
just like as they're growing up, you should let them like explore.
So Xbox விளையாட கேட்டா கொடுக்கலாம்.
Yeah, like in moderation, obviously, but you shouldn't say like, oh, you're not allowed to touch it at all, because everyone plays games. If you're just alienating them from that, then you're alienating them from all their friends. Like, not that they're isolated, but then they're going to be like, oh, all my friends are playing the game and I'm not, and they feel left out, right?
Right. No, but
இல்ல நல்ல பாயிண்ட்
இல்ல,
சொன்ன
very
பாயிண்ட்
good,
நல்ல
very
பாயிண்ட்
good point. But I want to say that even if you do that, right, somebody like Vivin, நான் சொன்ன விவின் வந்து இப்போ கொஞ்ச நாளா நம்ம சொல்ற பேச்சு கேட்கல, ஸ்கூல்ல இருந்து ஒரு ஃபோன்லாம் வந்தது, அதனால வந்து நான் சொன்ன விவின் கிட்ட, உன்னோட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எப்பவுமே உன் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் யுவர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஆர் ஹியர், தே கேனாட் கம் ஹியர் அன்டில் யூ ஃபிக்ஸ் இட். உன்னோட ஸ்கூல்ல ஏதோ ஒரு கிரேட்லாம் இருக்கு, அதை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ற வரைக்கும் நீ பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டேன். ஸோ அவன் வீட்டுக்குள்ள தானே வரக்கூடாது,
வாசல் வரைக்கும் வந்து பேசிட்டு போறாங்க.
every day they are here, that group is here, they're talking and they're going, so they find a way to work around it. So I know that. I mean, இப்ப தவின் இருக்கான்ல, தவினும் அதே மாதிரி தான். ஆனா sometimes as parents நாங்களும் we'll know, but we'll let it go. It's okay, அப்படின்னு we'll let it go.
இந்த தவின் சொன்னதுல ஒரு பாயிண்ட் வந்து, இப்போ ஒரு குழந்தைக்கு ஏதோ ஒன்று பிடிக்குது வச்சுக்கோ, இப்போ நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி உனக்கு பியானோ பிடிக்குது, ஆனா பேரண்ட் வந்து டிரைவிங் தெம் வித் ரெஸ்யூமே, இதுதான் பண்ணுவன், நீ ஃப்ளூட் கத்துக்கணும் இல்ல டென்னிஸ் விளையாடணும், ஏன்னா அப்பதான் நீ பர்க்லி இன்னொரு 10 வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் உனக்கு பர்க்லி கிடைக்கும், நீ இப்பவே பிளான் பண்றது பேரண்ட். They'll write a resume and then ask them to do one by one.
Because I know like a lot of people that they go to college
exactly.
and then as soon as they get into college, like they drop it and they just like
yeah, the whole point wasted. Anyway, yeah. They'll do whatever they want.
The point of it isn't to get into college, it's to create like a skill or like an interest lifelong. Correct. So if they do it out of self-interest, like there's a lot of things where if you just show enough commitment to it, a college is going to be interested. You could do like I don't know, playing video games, or like you could say like, oh, I was part of a professional gaming like sports team
circuit, yeah,
and then that'll interest them if you did multiple years.
ஆனா என்ன தெரியுமா தவின், அம்மா சொன்னாங்களா அதே பாயிண்ட் தான். We are coming from a generation and the country where even the 30-year-old boy after marriage, I'm saying 30-year-old, I'm 35 or 40, I'm married, I have a kid for myself, right? Yeah. Parents will say உனக்கு ஒண்ணும் தெரியாது, சின்ன பையன் சும்மா இரு. If they're talking something, right, you come and go and tell appa not like that or amma not like that, yeah, something like that. If you put your point, they'll say you don't know anything, you're a small boy, shut up. Yeah, that's what the adult will talk. So we're coming from the if you talk back, they'll think as a disrespect. Yeah. How dare you talking back to me like that. So we're coming from the generation and the family values, they think they attach all this to a value, respect. So we cannot talk back. So we are coming from that country and that background, right? So it's hard for us. We are also learning, we are also evolving, and we are also changing the way how we treat the kids. I mean, luckily I grow up with all the freedom and Amma grow up with all the freedom, so we are giving the same freedom to you. All we are telling is, if you, I told the same thing to Vivian as well, if you do something wrong or you screw up, you are screwing your life. It's all the responsibility on you, not on me. You decide. Like that.
இது வந்து ஒருத்தங்க ஸ்ருதி லயா அப்படின்றவங்க போட்டிருக்காங்க. ஸோ அவங்க என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்கன்னா, அவங்க ஆல்ரெடி அவங்களோட கிட்டோட தே ஆர் நாட் இன் குட் டேர்ம்ஸ். ஸோ தே வாண்ட் டு லைக் யூனோ ஃபைண்ட் அ வே டு கெயின் த சைல்ட்ஸ் லவ் அண்ட் கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ். ஸோ எப்படி, ஹவு கேன் தே டூ தட் ஃப்ரம் அ சைல்ட்ஸ் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ், அ யங் அடல்ட்ஸ் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ்?
Like they're not seeing eye to eye, or like they're just not.
They're not in the same terms, like they don't. Let's say இப்போ ஒரு kid இருக்காரு, அந்த kid வந்து parents கிட்ட தெரியாம is living a different life. Yeah. Is living a totally different life. Parents think they're trying to get in close to the kid and the kid is saying no I don't come to me, I don't like you anymore, they're trying to cut them out.
Yeah.
அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோ. இதுவங்கான இல்ல, I'm saying generally ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்டா இருக்காங்க நீ சொல்றல, they are going and they are turning into somebody else.
Yeah.
அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது how do you gain their trust back as a from a child point நீ சொல்ல. அப்புறம்
in my opinion, and this may or may not work, you know, I don't know, it's my first time through life too. I don't have any parenting experience, but I would say that just being like up like frank with them and just being like and not just that, but you have to be honest and vulnerable with them too, because the only way you're going to get vulnerability back is if you're vulnerable with them and you're like just have a heart to heart with them and just be like I just feel like you're cutting me out of your life and I truly do want to be in your life. Is there anything I can do that would make you feel better about it, or you know, something that'll like work with them, because you can't just stand on your ground and expect them to come over to you, right? You have to compromise as well. It's a two-way street.
That's exactly what I said in the video. I said you have to be vulnerable, go and cry to them, say that you're hurt, say how you feel.
Not in a guilt-tripping way, but
not
just
in a
like
guilt-tripping,
in a vulnerable way.
In a vulnerability, I said the same thing.
Just
I
showing
said
honesty.
you need to be vulnerable to them, you need to be open to them and say that you lost that trust, and you want to earn it back, and they should also feel the same way. So அத நீங்க உங்க பிளேட்ல போட்டதுக்கு அப்புறம்
another thing is like for some parents, right, that are like on the stricter side, you have to be open that sometimes the kid isn't going to share philosophies with you, or they're not going to like, I know like a lot of kids, like once they turn 21 or even sometimes before, but they'll go and like they'll be like drinking and partying, and some parents don't like that. But sometimes you just have to accept like, oh, that's just like, that's my kid, like that's the culture. And you, like some like these parents, like especially if they came from India to America, that's the culture here rather than there. Even in India, we saw so many kids. But it's just that sometimes that your kid isn't going to do things that you want, and so sometimes you just need to like accept that. You can't just like change them, because that's going to just alienate them further, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes even if it's something you don't like, you just need to accept it and just find a way to like, even though I don't like it, I'm gonna find a way to accept that kid because it's still my kid, right?
So maybe in that aspect உனக்கு வந்து the definition of success is different in your generation versus my generation.
Maybe.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I think with just the way that like needs are met, right? Different needs. I think that we have different priorities between generations of what is important. Like a lot of kids maybe feel isolated because of, you know, that generation gap, and maybe they prioritize like a connection with like people, and so they seek it outside, or maybe they don't. Who knows?
How important is family for a person?
I think family may mean a little less, but the main difference is that family is in a different way than before. And so if you don't see eye to eye about it, or like you don't perceive it in the way the kid does, then that creates like the...
No, to you, I'm asking you, ஒரு ஃபேமிலினா என்ன, what family means to you? Like how important is family? Forget us, like forget that we are here. In general, as family னு ஒன்று இருக்கும்ல, ஒரு பர்சனுக்கு ஃபேமிலி தேவையா, இல்ல அவங்க தனியா இருக்காங்களா, இல்ல தனியா இருந்தா பரவாயில்லையா? What do you think of that?
I think a family is very important because
Come sit here.
Talking about important topic. Yeah,
Stand there.
I think a family is important because it creates the model for the kids to create their lifestyle. Because if you have a parent where they're, you know, doing whatever, or they're being like neglectful, or they're being like even like emotionally abusive or like something, right? That's gonna teach the kid, even if it's unintentional, like even if you're not saying like, oh, I want you to yell at your kids and yell at your wife and your husband, even if they don't say that explicitly, you're still gonna, whatever you do is what gets copied, right? They say like the kids see the actions, not the words. They might not listen to you, but they're going to see your actions. So if you're saying like, oh, you should go and be kind to everyone, and then you're going and you're yelling at like your husband or wife, then they're gonna say, well, they're saying to be nice, but then they're yelling at, you know, blah blah blah, they're yelling at me. Then that teaches them that like, oh, it's good to be nice to everyone outside, but when it's your kids, it's okay to yell at them or, you know, whatever.
That's what we do in India.
So, but important point வந்து இந்த ஊர்ல yelling and raising the tone இருக்குல்ல, that is a very off-putting character here.
I'd say because it creates very off-putting
Energy.
like, yeah, and just like and it also creates the cycle and perpetuates it that like you're like there's a lot of people saying, oh, I don't think beating is anything bad because my parents did it to me and look how I turned out. But it also creates like that cycle, right? Of they're getting beat and then they're deciding, oh, but
Abuse. Abuse continues.
yeah, because they view it as something normal. It's because there's also parenting without it, right? And they're just as successful. They might be in the same job, same family status. Because while both work, it doesn't mean that one isn't better than the other, one isn't worse than the other, one is healthier than the other. Even if they achieve the same goals, there's different ways you can go about it.
What is family? How important is family
What do
To you.
to you?
What do you mean by that?
In general, like family or having a family or family values.
Family. My first.
சத்தமா சொல்லுடா.
My first priority.
Your first priority. Family is your first priority. ஏன்டா சிரிக்கிற?
He cannot believe it. He always play. He doesn't want to come down to him, say hello.
ஏன்டா இவ்ளோ சிரிக்கிற? பாவம்டா அவன்.
It's okay, you talk me.
Yeah, but
Really?
like
It's okay, let him talk.
in
Let him.
life. In like life.
Can you expand on that?
Can you expand on that?
Like if I don't have like anything, it'll still be like my goals are like about family.
That's a good
point. So even if he loses everything else, he'll still have his family with him, right? For him.
Yeah, that's what the family is for actually.
That's what I'm saying though, is it's based off how your parents treat you. Because there's people where they'll have parents that are in and out of their life, where they'll be there, they'll be absent for their childhood, but then once they start making money, could you please like give me like $5,000? Could you give me money? And that's even then like you should have like they'll have some sort of love, but it won't be like a family that was, you know, supportive and there for them. So it's on both sides that if you create the culture of creating that culture is what's gonna, you know, put it down the line. So if you're not showing the love for your kid and you're not like being there for them and you're just like the people that are in and out, or they're just like they're there but they're not really helping, or they're like being there like mentally for the kid, then that creates the culture for the kid to treat them the same way as well.
And then parenting, I was telling them like நீ சொன்னல, what should we change in our parenting thing? You told us that we should have forced you to eat vegetable, right?
Also, he said that we should have asked him to cut his hair.
I mean, but since then you've grown, right?
Yeah.
You can look back and say like, oh, I should not do that next time.
Yeah.
So in that sense,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is they should have the freedom to be able to do that, and they did that, and so now I can say like, oh, I'm not growing my hair out like that again, or like, you know.
Or Thavin is not going to shave his mush and beard. Because he tried once.
Yeah.
No, but we have to allow them to be who they are and who they want to be, even though we know that it may not be okay. Or maybe it might be okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to let them believe the process.
But like, see, one thing is, I strongly believe, you should make mistakes and learn from it.
Yeah.
That's how the life
but
is.
you also need guidance from it, obviously.
Correct. But you always need to learn from others' mistake. That's
that too. Yeah. But that's part of like what we're talking about. That's why we're having this conversation. You're learning from
because we cannot afford a costly mistake in life.
No,
something will change your entire life. We cannot make that kind of mistakes.
I will give you an example. We always have a house that is always neat and clean.
Yeah.
So I realized that Thavin is so used to that. When he went to his dorm, when somebody else is not neat, right? You feel like, oh my god, அவங்க நீட்டா இல்லைன்னா நமக்கு எவ்வளவு கஷ்டம் அப்படின்னு you realize. Not only that, when you go somewhere that is not neat, when you see something that is not tidy, you feel like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Because you
Same
are
thing
you
for
are
you,
in,
right?
you are in the environment like that.
Your environment shapes you.
Yeah.
Your environment shapes you,
Correct,
right?
correct. That's
So
true.
what he says is
That's
like,
also what I'm getting at. is
Yeah.
Environment isn't just your surroundings, but it's the culture.
Culture and-
of like your family dynamics, the household dynamics. If you have like your parents are being nice to you, but they're yelling at each other, you're still gonna get that. But even though they're not talking to you, it's still like you're absorbing everything around you, and that gets absorbed into what you think. So everything kind of impacts you.
so you have anything to contribute towards what kind of father will you be?
I won't do anything too harsh, but I won't be like too easy on my kids.
You know that the way.
What about you, Tavin?
I think I'd be a good parent.
Okay,
I think I'd be decent.
decent. Will you be a strict dad?
I don't think I'd be that strict.
But will you have like values or family?
Yeah. I'm not gonna be like laid back. Like I'm gonna have like an active hand in parenting, but it's not gonna be like you see me as a person. Like I'm not much of like a overbearing or like controlling person.
You both are perfect. I have no qualms about you guys, except for like showering and putting your things away. But that's my own problem. It's just that in my mind everything has to be perfect. So I expect things to be perfect. So I figured that out recently. So sleepover pati enna nenikravi? What is your thought process about sleepover and not letting you go to sleepovers? He gave his piece.
I get it.
You get it?
A bit. I get it. Like not letting me. But
Expand on that.
You'll make the costly mistake. That's why. That's why we are not doing it.
இல்ல சொல்லுடா அவன் சொல்லட்டும்.
God be. I'm just putting my legs.
He's still young. He's only 15. He's not like an adult like Tavin, right? To see
I'm only an adult for 1 week.
No, but you've
2 weeks.
seen the school and college and you've been on your
Yeah.
own. You've seen your fair share
Yeah.
of job and you have like experience, right,
Yeah.
Tavin? Experience and exposure. Like you've dealt with people over the phone. You've been a TA.
Tavin learnt a lot while he started working.
Working,
Yeah.
So அவனோட exposure is different, right?
Yeah.
Is that important for a parent to give to their kid?
Exposure, absolutely. Yeah. And that goes back into what I was saying about like letting them do activities is like if you're heavy handing everything, then that like they don't have, even though you're like, if you're keeping like the helicopter and you're like, oh, let's do this. And then you're like just like hawking them and you're just like looking at them, right? And you're just like doing everything for them, then they don't get the self-growth to like make their own decisions. Because if you're playing like sports or something, right? And they're like, oh, I don't know.
No, but when I tell people like I don't check on their work, like show me your work, oh show me this, show this.
Because
They
the
don't-
consequence is there.
No, they don't believe that when I say that.
Yeah.
Just because I share things to
But
everybody,
you
right?
also need to have the values of consequence there. Like not from you,
Right.
but you need to know that
But the
actions have
system,
consequences.
yeah, but the system of the education school has consequences. If you don't finish
Yeah.
your work, you're gonna pay for it at school. I'm not the teacher. I believe
Yeah.
that the teacher should do the work. I believe that the system will make them pay for it. But then if he's playing instead of finishing his work, then as a parent I should come in and say, hey, did you finish your work? Stop.
Yeah.
And then finish it and then go back to play. And then if he's going to go over like 11 o'clock, he'll say, hey, go to bed because it's already 11 o'clock. So that a parent has to do. As a parent, I don't want to be the warden, but I am the warden. I have to do it because that's my job. It's my job.
But
profile.
that's what I was getting at with the sports before I got sidetracked. But like, you should be guiding them without being heavy-handed about it. You should guide them, but you shouldn't just be forcing the path. You know what I mean? Like when you're helping them out, like if they make a mistake, help them out, but don't just like fix it for them because they need to have that. You can't just drop them into the water and expect them to swim. You need to help like ease them in, right? So you have to help them out with, oh, like I don't understand how to do this. Then like you go through it with them, and you don't solve it for them, but you help them out, right? And then that way you're not doing the problem, they're learning how to do the problem themselves, right? And so just like that in like math or anything, right? You're supposed to do that with real life problems. Like if they make a mistake, you're not supposed to fix it for them, you're supposed to like, or like call the school and like, you know, but you should just like help them out and help them solve it for themselves, so that way if it happens again, their reaction isn't like, although telling you is important, it shouldn't be like, oh, I don't know what to do, let me just call my mom and have her fix it, because eventually there's going to be a time where you can't fix it, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be something they need to do by themselves. And
Correct.
so making sure that they have the readiness and preparation to do it themselves instead of just having reliance is something that as a parent you need to ease into.
Wait.
What?
என்னடா வாட்ன்ற நான் சொன்னதுக்கு any points do you have to add?
You have to go and talk in Dekavi. Talk now. Debate. Come up with your own points.
Yeah. You shouldn't like do everything for your kid, but you shouldn't like not do anything.
Exactly.
So there is a fine line.
Yeah. And that's part of parenting, is finding that balance. Just like the kid is also finding the balance of work and life.
Did we find that balance?
Yeah, I'd say so.
What about you, V?
What?
Do you think we found that balance as parents?
Which
Like guiding you and giving you the freedom and
But Vivin little bit, he never allows us to help him.
work out?
He's other side, amma, konjam. Even we try to help, if I try to help, okay, Vivin, let me help you. No, I'll do all myself. I don't need your help. That's
Tavin was also like that.
இல்ல தவின்க்கு அந்த
Tavin didn't need it.
அந்த மாதிரி போவே இல்ல. ஆனா இவனுக்கு போய் நம்ம ஃபோர்ஸ்ஃபுல்லா கேட்டா கூட he will never allow us to, he never entertains or yeah, he wants to be independent. அவன் ஜீரோ எடுத்தா கூட நான் தான் எடுப்பேன்னுவான். நீ சொல்லி தந்து எடுக்க தேவையில்ல, நான் எடுத்துக்கிறது ஜீரோ அப்படின்னு.
இல்ல பட் அவனுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராங் மென்டோரிங் இருக்கு. I told Tavin today that whenever Vivin talks about him, he keeps him in very high pedestal.
Yeah.
For him, Tavin is the hero.
That's another thing that some parents need to accept, is that you can't be everything for the kid. Like there's sometimes where like kids will want to go to like their friends or like
Brother.
or brother or anything. Like there's going to be times where they don't want help from you, and you have to be fine with that. Because I feel like some parents, they can't accept that, and they want to. It's a nice thing that people want to help. But sometimes, like, just because, like, your friend says, oh, let me help you out with this, you're not going to be like, oh, like, you don't want it every time. Sometimes you need to, like, go through it yourself. And so because of that, sometimes even though, like, you may want to help out, the kid's not going to want help from you specifically. And that's not a bad thing. You shouldn't accept that or view that as a negative thing. It should be something that you view as, like, a positive regard that, like, my kid is going to figure it out.
Yep.
You shouldn't view that in a negative way, is what I'm saying.
Yep. So unplanned as usual. கூப்பிட்டு உட்கார வச்சு ரெண்டு பேரும் கேள்வி கேட்டோம். Yeah, thank you Tavin. He just came back from college today and
அதையும் கேட்ட காலேஜ் லைஃப் எப்படி இருக்கு?
how
What do
is
you
college
feel?
life? People are asking how is it and what do you
It's good. I mean, I'm not doing too much, but I'm in my dorm. I'm doing whatever.
Is it tough? Do you like it? Studies?
It's different from high school because it's more independent focused.
What type of studies is it?
It's more independent, as you have to go into the reading and you have to study. The teachers are just kind of there to just like iron it out, but you're the one that has to set everything up for yourself for success.
So is it self-motivated, you would say?
Yeah. I think that for people that are unself-motivated and like they need a lot of help, it's going to be a little tougher. But that's why it's important. This is one thing that I think if you need help as a student, that you should look into, is schools that have a strong like support system for struggling students. Because I know my school, we have like a writing center for people that like aren't that skilled with writing, and they have like a tutoring center. And so some schools may not have that. And so if you're a student that struggles, you shouldn't go into that school. And then you're stranded in the water because there's like, oh, there's no system here to help me succeed as a student. So if you're a student that, you know, requires a lot of help, or even if you're succeeding in like high school or middle school now, like if you know yourself, because I think the goal of every person should be to understand themselves, right? That's the goal of maturity, is understanding yourself before you can understand others, right?
When did you understand yourself?
I'd say throughout high school.
What about you, V?
Hmm?
Have you understood yourself?
Yes. But
Fully?
I don't think fully.
Not
no.
fully? No.
You're still finding yourself.
Yeah.
But do you know who you are, like a person?
I'm getting hang of it.
How do you like high school?
It's not as bad as I thought.
Okay. Compared to middle school, is it better?
Yeah. They give a lot of more they give
Freedom?
yeah, kind of, and like more opportunities.
Oh, that is interesting. Is it true that they give more opportunities at the high school?
I think, yeah, because at least with that middle school, like most of the activities are, no, not as like a slight, but just like most of the activities are through like the electives and the programs. Whereas the electives are through, or like the extracurriculars are through the teachers, right? Meanwhile, these clubs at the high school are like student like driven, right? And while there is like normally a teacher there present, it's driven by the students. So the clubs will be as active as the students want it. So if like, even if like, especially if you're a senior or junior, like if you're that interested in it, go apply to be like in the
Officer team.
Yeah, the officer team. Because that way you can drive it yourself and get what you like
Want.
Yeah. You can create the opportunities for yourself.
Is it necessary to get a college admission?
No. I don't think you should feel the need to join a club or any club just because you feel it. Because I think a lot of people focus too much on building a resume for college that they don't truly enjoy. I think you should do what you enjoy. Because I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I'm not going to succeed. Because that's just dumb, right? Like if you're gonna do it, you should do it because you want to do it and you know you'd be good for it. Even if you don't know you'd be good for it, you have the feeling that you want to try to be good at it. If you don't have that feeling at all, why would you want to join?
So enjoy and then use that as a resume in
Yeah,
the college.
exactly. Because like I said, eventually if you put enough time and effort into anything, people are gonna look at it. Because you could have like, especially if you do something that like people don't expect. Like there's people that like they study like medicine. Like, oh, I was shadowing a researcher or whatever, a doctor for like 3 years. A college is gonna look at that and be like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, and then they're gonna be interested. If you do like, oh, I was part of sports for 4 years, they're interested. As long as you do anything long enough, people are gonna be interested.
It need not
Like,
be in the same field.
And that's not even just for college. Like you could talk about the YouTube channel now. They put like a lot of time and effort into this, and now people are watching, right? So because of that, if you put enough time and effort into anything, people are gonna watch.
Anything you have to add?
A quote.
Or
I
quote.
remember. Work at a job you love, and you won't work a day in your life.
Wow, that's a good quote, V.
Yeah.
Good job. Good one, V. Okay, fun question. One good thing about him. You go. Or any good qualities that you like in him. You think your answer?
I know my answer.
He knows his stuff.
In what way?
A lot of stuff, like
In what way?
education and like games.
That's a good quality of him.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of things.
He's figured it out.
I'm knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's figured it
Yeah,
out.
he's figured it out.
True, I
Intelligent boy,
agree.
huh?
Yes, he knows
Information.
a lot of things. Yes, a very strong conviction. He has very strong conviction, and he goes by it. He's the rule follower of the house.
By the book.
By the book person. So, good quality about him.
I'd say 2 good things about him is that he's a very independent and he's stubborn in a driven way. Because sure, it can be annoying at times, right? I'm sure for both of you, but like you could see him like, oh, like I have to get a test in. You know, like 99 times out of 10, he's gonna come back and be like, I got the A on it, because you know he's gonna do it by himself, and he's driven that he's like, oh, I'm not gonna fail, and he's stubborn like that in a good way.
And that's one thing I'm very proud about B. Because he's very stubborn and he knows exactly what he doesn't want.
Yeah.
He wants it.
He wants it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either
What's
good or
second
bad.
quality?
That was both.
Okay.
It was that he's independent and then
And
he's stubborn.
in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Vinod, any good qualities that they didn't mention?
They both are unique by themselves. Like whatever they do, they are totally unique characters, unique behaviors.
Yeah.
But still, they have a good bonding with the family acceptance.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a new for us as a generation coming from a different generation. So again, you guys have a long way to go.
Yeah.
We are just like would love to stay and watch you guys grow.
Yeah.
No, but very funny.
Good.
Recent time, somebody told me that they look alike. And he also heard the same thing, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I know, but I heard it too. Someone told me that, you both your boys look alike. I was
My
like,
friends
what?
told me.
They
They
did?
told you that we look alike?
Yeah, I said I don't see it.
I know. They used to look alike when they were young.
I think-
Very similar.
I
They
think
used to
you
look.
look like her and I look like him. Because if I say this,
Yeah,
I look
mostly
like
everyone will tell
Yeah,
that.
but then now, recently, when someone said, really? I don't see that. I don't know if they look alike. They're totally two different. This one, that one. Like, yeah, but, and the good quality.
But in the heart, maybe they look alike. They are good.
you. I don't think people are looking at our hearts.
Yeah, I know, but they are good heart. That's what I'm
No,
trying to say.
the good quality in Tavin is he's the kindest person you can ever see. Even if you are his worst enemy, he'll still have the mind to be kind to them.
அது உங்ககிட்ட இருந்துச்சுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Because he will not lose his cool. He'll just be like, okay,
அது என்கிட்ட இருந்துச்சு.
சேம் டோன்ல பேசிட்டு போயிடுவோம். ஓகே, விவினோடது வந்து என்னன்னா, he has a big heart. He has the most generous heart. When he loves somebody, he loves them with his full heart. So he will be an excellent father. I know that. And he'll be a very, very good uncle to his children. So his children are going to like him more than they like the dad, which I feel because he'll be that kind of an uncle. Sometimes you want that uncle, right? One jolly uncle. And the mari irupaan ava. He has a very big heart kind of a boy because அவனுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்டா இருக்கட்டும், இல்லை ஒரு பிரதரா இருக்கட்டும், இல்லை ஒரு அம்மா அப்பா அம்மா யாரா இருந்தாலும் he will give them that place, that much he has. All the naughtiness will be in a separate department. The love will be there for
எனக்கு வந்து விவின பிடிச்ச குட் குவாலிட்டி வந்து he has all the good manners. Say thank you, please.
Oh yes.
He
also has that.
No, he has a different way and he has a different way. அந்த கான்டெக்ட்ஸ் சொல்ற தவின் வந்து more of a intellect, மாதிரி ரொம்ப soft.
Old soul.
Yeah. Old,
in a young body,
young
right?
body.
Would
That's
you
what
agree?
I guess.
In a 4th grade your teacher told Tavin. Still it
Miss
stands.
Lynn.
Yeah.
She said like your son is an old soul in a young body. He's very matured for his age. He must have friends who are much older than him. So he'll be able to have intellectual conversation with them. Is that true?
I guess.
But he still is very, very, very childish and funny.
I mean, yeah.
And he's very playful.
Yeah.
The playful side of Tavin is very fun. Vivin is just the baby still. வச்ச உடனே இப்ப எடு அது காட்டு. கட் பண்ண உடனே நாங்க எதுக்கு வந்திருக்கோம்?
அது எடுத்துட்டு வந்தா விளையாடுறத வந்தா கத்தி சண்டை போடுறதா
சோட் ஃபைட்டுக்காக வந்திருக்கோம். இப்போ கட் பண்ண உடனே நாங்க சோட் ஃபைட் பண்ணுவோம் எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து. So thank you so much for this impromptu cameo appearance on my channel. I really appreciate you guys. So you have given your valuable time to 17,000 people.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much for your insights.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you guys for watching this video.